We've seen a myriad of marquee matchups in a host of various tournaments, including the Maui Invitational, Players Air Festival, Bad Boys, Mowers, Battle for Atlantis, Terry's Chocolate Vegas Showdown, BBN Invitational, NIT Tip Off, Arizona Tip Off, and the Daytona Beach Classic. And even though it's early in the season, we saw a handful of teams separate themselves from the pack. I want to know, what was your favorite tournament memory and also favorite tournament to watch this past week? This time we'll start with Kevin.
Favorite tournament, I enjoyed, a lot of these tournaments. It was a blessing to watch as much college basketball as I was able to watch last week. So shout out to college basketball. I think the biggest difference between college basketball and college football is, 7 games in college football, you know who teams are. Right. 7 teams, 7 games in college basketball, you're just really getting to know these teams. But to answer your questions, Players Era Festival in Maui was certainly my favorites. And Players Era Day 1, we got to see San Diego State versus Creighton, and a silky smooth BJ Davis efficiently dropped the Blue Jays off. Then we saw a back and forth affair between Texas A&M and Oregon. Jalen, actually, me and him were on the phone. Texas A&M was actually up by 6 or 7, so it's impressive that Oregon was able to win.
They ended up by 10, actually.
Huh? They might have been up by 10. They might have been up by 10, and then it's crazy that Oregon was able to win by 10. Houston, Bama arguably gave us the game of the week with LJ Cryer and Mark Sears going toe-to-toe. Two elite guards, I think are going to make late runs in this, in the tournament in March. And the nightcap that featured Dylan Harper going ballistic versus Notre Dame. I must have the extras because, Marcus Burton didn't play. Well, he made a layup and got hurt, but, nonetheless, Jalen gave me hella crap about Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper is the real deal, and he may be the first pick in this upcoming draft. And then Oregon versus Alabama gave us a championship of the ages. So give me the Players Era slightly over Maui in Vegas.
What say you, Jalen Wilson?
My favorite, I know she said favorite memory. Honestly, my favorite memory is probably like staying up until like 1:16 to watch Dayton versus North Carolina.
I'm sorry, what's going on here?
It was a freaking classic game. I was like tired. I had work the next day. I was like, man, I want to go to sleep, but this game's so dang good. My dad was like passed out in the chair, snoring. My brother was up with me though. But yeah, that was probably like my favorite memory. And like Seth Trimble, RJ Davis, I think they both didn't have 30. They both might have had 30.
They exploded. They exploded. I think it might have been like 28 and 27, something like that. They were both close to having 30. And, you remember how shy Seth Trimble was when he first got,
Yeah,
to UNC. Yeah. It's crazy that, it ain't the same no more.
Yeah. But I was just like, that's my favorite memory from the tournaments. My favorite tournament was probably the Maui. The player era is up there. I wish we did get to see Marcus Burton. I don't know when he's expected to come back. I did see that they said he's supposed to miss a good chunk of time, but he is supposed to be back at some point this season.
Yeah,
don't know what that means for Notre Dame.
Me last week in fantasy, and I'm just gonna blame it all on Marcus Burton. Even if he played, though, I'd have still got washed.
Individually, like if I'm going for a player, then my favorite tournament was the player era.
For sure.
If I'm going for a team, then my favorite tournament was the Maui.
Yeah, I think the Players Era really showcased the players. Like, you know what I'm saying? While Maui, the traditional, the standard for preseason tournament showcased the teams.
For sure. Best player you've seen all across the board on December the 3rd, Tuesday, year of our Lord, is
Janai Brown.
Same answer at the same time.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it.
What he's doing, he's creating jobs in Auburn.
if I'm not mistaken, I read somewhere that he was the first player in 25 seasons in the SEC to average through like a certain game stretch to average like 20, 15, and 5.
Yeah. He leads them in points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah.
Crazy work. Speaking of other things that's crazy, let's